What's up, everybody? Welcome back to IGN Game Scoop, the first Game Scoop of 2016. I'm your host, Damon Hadfield. Joining me this week, Justin Davis,
Scoop.
Vince Ingenito,
Scoop.
Sam Claiborne.
What's up, everybody?
Is here. We've got a great show for you this week to kick off the new year. We're finally getting around to announcing the winners of 2015 Dami Awards.
The most prestigious.
Prestigious.
The biggest award we give out.
Award show in the world.
Did I win any?
Well, you're going to have to wait and see.
Okay.
But before we look back at 2015, let's look ahead at 2016. I've gone ahead and gathered all the release dates for most of the big games of the year and the big events. And I think as we go through these, you'll start to see it's going to be another awesome year for gaming.
It's going to be the year of the indie.
It's
The year of the indie.
We had that year already.
I feel like
Every
we've
year's
had-
the year of the indie.
Yeah, but this year
Kind of the month of
especially.
the indie.
This
Month.
year.
This year especially is pretty crazy.
All right, well, we're going to find out here.
I was gonna thought you were
Let's
saying the year of VR.
We're going to move through the year chronologically.
Nah.
Is everyone familiar with what that means?
Yeah, in order of awesomeness.
Speaking of, a lot of people are asking about History of Awesome. They want to know where that show went.
I know. We can direct all messages to Steve Butts.
The desk of Steve Butts.
Yeah.
Send
Snail
them up the
mail
chain.
only.
Now this week,
Are
we
we
already
gonna
got...
start in January?
We're starting January this week. We
Okay.
already got Amplitude
That's right.
Yeah.
and Hardware Rivals.
I kickstarted Amplitude. I totally
PS4.
forgot about that.
Yep.
Money heist.
It's the opposite of I paid for it.
You paid for it. Yeah, Amplitude's out this week, and you were like, Damon, Amplitude is out today.
I can't believe you're not an Amplitude
And
fan.
I was like, okay, because I've never played the original
Wait,
Amplitude.
you of all people?
Yeah,
are
That's
not
what I said.
I figured you'd be like a religious, like amplitude frequency, like
Apparently,
just nut.
I need to check it out.
This
Yeah.
is a game where you put in your own song, and then it makes like a level for you to...
Nope.
So you're thinking of, so there's a game that came out after Amplitude, or around the same time. Well, actually, yeah, it was after Amplitude and Frequency.
There's been a few different games that have
Yeah.
generated, beats for you to
Levels,
play along on the
This
fly.
one has pre-made songs.
This is a little bit like a Guitar Hero or Rock
I know what
Band,
it
but
is.
you
I
just
just
use a
like
normal
playing it.
controller and you slide along a track and then you choose which portion of the song you want to play. And it had a really cool soundtrack. It was the first time I remember seeing or hearing about harmonics.
That's right.
Harmonics.
Frequency was their first game. Well, before that, before
Okay.
Amplitude.
They were both really dope.
Yep.
I'm really glad to see it back. I hope the new one's good. I haven't heard anything about
It's
it.
excellent.
it is good.
I had a pre-release code that I played with a little bit over the break.
Nice.
And yeah.
Let's talk about
definitely
Mass
very
Effect
awesome.
now.
Yes.
We're not to Mass Effect yet.
I thought we were going in order of awesomeness.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything about Hardware Rivals. Whether or not
Nah, I know we're going to be reviewing it, but I don't know much about it.
Next week, January 12th, Assassin's Creed Chronicles India.
Yes.
It's the second of 3 in the trilogy.
China
That's right.
was like last spring.
Yep. I reviewed that one. I'm reviewing this one.
Did you like China?
I liked it. I wasn't like in love with it.
2D Assassin's Creed game.
It's based
Yes.
on the wrestler China, if I'm correct.
Yep.
The female professional wrestler.
No, but it's actually really interesting how they managed to find ways to inject the side scroller with kind of Assassin's Creed-esque mechanics. Actually, I know this is like I'll get burned for this. I've enjoyed this more than any Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 2.
It's not like a
probably.
Metroidvania, though, right?
No, it's not. It's more of a straight. It's more of a straightforward left to right, but there is
So
a
it's
little
like
bit
Super
of
Star Wars?
Or Mario. Why would you go Super Star Wars?
But no, because it's like the aspect of the character and stuff looks like Super Star Wars.
What about Prince of Persia?
Screenshots I've seen.
It's a little bit more like Prince of Persia, right?
Yeah.
Where there is some going back and forth within an area.
There is some?
A little bit, but it's not like a Metroidvania
level-based.
where it's
So you're
this big-
saying it's like
yeah.
Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure.
All right.
For the 5 people other than us that played that game.
That's a great game.
I bet more than
It's
5 people.
Pitfall
played
Harry's
that
your
game.
dad.
Great is not
Spoilers!
quite the word I would use to describe.
Also next week, the console edition of Gone Home finally arrives.
Right.
If you haven't played Gone Home yet and you have a PS4 or Xbox One, now you can finally check
There's
that out.
achievements now, including one that's like speedrun based.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you can.
Clearly the point of that game.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Whoa. Oh, because if you find the I guess I.
Yeah.
Basically, you can open doors if you know the puzzle solutions.
Yeah.
Another console edition is out next week. The Banner Saga.
Yes.
That's a
Console
great
console.
game.
Very
on,
excited.
I played it on iPad.
I'll
played it on
totally play that
iPad as well.
console.
Yep.
So
I think it's
cool.
also on Steam probably too.
It is.
And, that's a very, very cool turn-based strategy game.
Yep.
So definitely check that out. January 15th, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen comes to PC. Remember Dragon's Dogma?
Absolutely.
One of the better original IPs that Capcom's had in a while.
It's a
Actually,
big strategy game. Or sorry, a fantasy game. I mean,
Yeah,
a strategy
action
game.
RPG.
It's an action
Yep.
RPG fantasy
Lots of
game.
big monsters
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah.
You've seen them. And the
It was a
same
good guy
day,
for that.
Oxenfree comes to PC and
Yeah.
Xbox One.
Marty
Games about
Sleva.
kids camping on an island,
Yes.
and they're this big.
Spooky 2D.
They're little tiny people.
Marty
Kids
Sleeva's
camping
already
game.
declaring it his game of the year.
Yeah.
Absolutely enamored and in love with it.
Yep.
Sounds like my kind of game. It's sort of like it's like summer camp / X-Files / Lost with
Yeah.
these kids on an island and supernatural stuff happening to them, and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we put
And
up the first like 30 minutes of the game, and it's totally worth checking out. Really cool.
I'm glad that one came together. That's one that I like could have gone either way, and it sounds like it's a real winner.
Sure.
Excited.
January 19th. This one is a little hard to believe. A Boy and His Blob is coming to a bunch of different
That's
consoles.
the Wii
Which version?
This is
That's
the Wii
ported.
version.
Okay, it's the ported version.
Or
okay.
it came to Wii, right?
To Wii.
Yeah.
It was a Wii
Wii
exclusive. It was a
version.
great game.
Yep.
Yeah, so-
Way Forward developed this one? Is that-
Yeah,
am I-
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
correct about that?
Yeah,
And sort of
in
like
the IGN
based-
family.
Based on the NES original, A Boy and His Blob, where
Well,
the
you
boy
see,
is
there's a blob,
transported
right?
to Blobonia, right?
Yeah.
It takes place on a different planet.
No, you travel to Blobonia.
Okay, you go there eventually. But
Yeah.
you feed the blob
jelly beans.
different colored jelly beans to get him to turn into different
The
useful
greatest
things.
thing is that there's a call button in that game to call the blob, and the boy's like, Blob! Hey! Come here, Blob!
In the Wii version?
And you just hear it all the time. Yeah, you just have this button to
He
call
doesn't
the
go,
blob.
dog.
It's great. It's-
Bird dog. Bird dog.
The call button is really cute. That game's really fun. I'm so happy it's coming out.
Yeah, that's one of those games
Nobody
that
would ever play that
kind of
otherwise.
languished on the Wii, and it's going to have a second
Yeah.
chance to find an audience. It's great.
PC, PS4, Vita, and Xbox One for that one. And that day, January 19th, Darkest Dungeon officially releases after being in early access for a full year.
Yep.
I was playing it last January.
So excited.
This time last year, the office was most of the office was buzzing about Darkest Dungeon because it had just kind of hit early access and all of us had played it like for like a weekend
Yep.
and we all came in like that same week and we're like, oh my god, this
Yeah.
game, and then we all stopped playing it because we didn't want to spoil it for ourselves.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, also the early access stuff just ended. Like I made it through. I think like half the
like-
game was in that point,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
beat the boss with the witch that throws a party member into a pot.
Yep.
And man, they say you can get that party member back, but they're gone. They're done. If you want to make it out alive, it's like, look, you're in the pot. I'm sorry, but you're in the pot, and
Yeah.
we're just gonna beat on this witch and then let you just.
Advice for anyone who's going to play that game: don't get too attached to your
To
party.
any of your characters. You might want to like give them a name of your friend or your girlfriend,
Right.
and then send them out, but they're probably not coming home.
That sounds like Fire Emblem.
Great,
Yep.
like roguelike turn-based RPG with just an incredible style and narrator and just
The narration makes it.
a brutal sort of aesthetic to it. Just nothing else feels quite like it. It cribs the best parts of different games and mashes it all into like an awesome. It's just I'm really excited to see the finished product.
And that same day, a game for Sam Claiborne. Maybe if he's not into Darkest Dungeon, he would be into the Resident Evil 0 HD remaster.
Why is that for me?
I thought you liked Resident Evil.
I like Resident Evil 4 and onwards.
Which is to say, you hate
So
Resident
Resident Evil forwards.
Yeah, exactly. Coined right here. I'm a Resident Evil Forwards fan.
Trademark
Except for 6.
2015.
I like 4 and 5.
2016.
But no, I played through that game, and it's an interesting game. But I've never really liked the fixed cameras, tank control stuff, except when they looked really pretty. And those games were, so fun to look at. And so like now it's like it's a little bit weird to revisit them. But hey, a lot of people love that game.
Yeah.
To each his own.
Resident Evil
Resident
Remake
Evil
remains
Horrors.
remains my favorite Resident Evil.
That is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, remake was really good.
That's it.
4.
Code Veronica.
The next day, January 20th, for you PC gamers, Homeworld Deserts of Karak. I think Dan Stapleton's probably excited about that one. I've never played Homeworld
They
myself.
sneak announced it.
The next day, January 21st, Yakuza Kiwami comes to PS3 and PS4.
Are we really going week by week throughout the whole year?
Yes?
Because I have to go home to my wife at some point.
Well, we only have release dates up to like June-ish.
Yeah, after that,
These are games
after
that have release dates, not just
after
things
like April, it's gonna
And
get
just this
hazy.
week, all the news has been shifting release dates.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
many things have already gotten
Delays,
delayed.
like
up to first
Scalebound.
quarter
It
and
made me
stuff.
so sad.
Scalebound got delayed. I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
it's 2017.
What about January 22nd, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam?
Yeah, I played
3DS.
Paper Jam.
Yeah.
It's funny. I haven't played that series since the first one.
Which
You know,
Mario and Luigi
that was
or
two
Paper
divergent
Mario?
series that have come together in this game.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
this
not
is-
actually-
This is more of a Mario and Luigi game
was just
with
gonna
the
say
Paper
that.
Mario characters in it.
Yeah.
Oh
They're-
yeah. Okay, I'm all over that.
They're pitching it as like a Street Fighter Cross Tekken thing, but then it still has to be one
saying
at
all
its
the right
core.
things.
And this is Mario and Luigi at its core.
Yeah, which
Cool.
I'm not a huge fan of. I like Super Paper Mario. That's my favorite adventure into
Super
that.
Mario
How
Really
funny,
good,
because
yeah.
I'm very much. I think the
You like
Mario and
RPG?
Luigi games are much better than Paper. I found Paper
love-
Mario kind of slow and kiddie.
Now,
and,
Bowser's
and Mario and
Inside
Luigi.
Story had some funny moments.
I love both
I mean,
of
the
those
games are
franchises.
really funny and good,
Yeah,
and
I
I like
played
what they
them.
did with
I think
Luigi.
they can be slow.
I don't think I ever finished those games.
Yeah, they-
I, like
they-
start them out. I was like, yeah, this is fun.
They
and
plot
then-
along.
All right, yeah.
lot of
January
text.
January 26th, a Day of Kings. I think that date is called. Final Fantasy Explorers. Is that
Yeah,
on
yeah,
3DS?
it's a 3DS game that's kind of in the Crystal Chronicles line games.
A cooperative Final Fantasy game, I think. Marvel Avengers comes to everything after it was supposed to come out last fall. I think
Lego
it was
Marvel
delayed.
Avengers.
Lego Marvel Avengers, sorry.
Yeah.
And The Witness.
Yeah.
Jonathan Blows.
Jonathan Blows new game.
Yeah,
Super-
that's like a missed game that actually looks fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
What a
I
blow
feel
off.
like
That's
yeah,
good because his name is Jonathan Blow. He made Braid, and
Yeah.
that was 8 years ago.
I still can't believe how old that game is.
2008.
And he took all Braid was a big hit, and he took all the money he made from that and put it into The Witness.
Like, it's incredible. Like, Braid made him millions and millions of dollars, and then all that money got put into his follow-up product. I really don't see how that game's going to be anything less than just an incredible puzzle
Hope
video
so.
game experience. Jonathan Blow catches... People give him a hard time for coming off as pretentious sometimes. I don't think he's pretentious. I think he's just really,
He's a
really
smart guy
smart.
that makes
I
great
think
stuff.
anytime
He's really good at what he
he's in a
does.
room of people, he's
Fine with
probably the smartest guy
Yep.
in the room.
Good role in Indie Game the movie.
Yeah.
If you want to see who we're talking about,
Like
he's
the
in a
elder
major
statesman
motion picture.
of indie games is sort of the role that he plays in that movie, in my opinion.
And if you think about it, the way things, everything panned out, he ended up being like what Braid. I mean, nothing has come along since Braid that I feel like is necessarily that much better than it. But it created that beginning like ripple that turned into a wave of like kind of like the indie
Yeah.
art house platformer.
Well,
it brought
especially as
back-
downloadable Xbox Live.
Yep.
What it
games.
really
Those
brought
are
back
huge.
into popularity or opened the door for was 2D puzzle platformers
Yeah.
to make a big return. Yeah, for sure, which
Absolutely.
I'm super grateful for. I've played
Me
a lot
too.
of
Like
Bionic Commando came out right then in N+, and I remember those were
Yeah.
like all these great 2D platforming games. Were really
That's
fun.
true. That's true.
And PG Winterbottom.
Oh yeah, PG
Love-
Winterbottom.
love that
was
one.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
a
Totally
deep
forgot
cut.
about that one.
Yep.
Yeah. January 28th, Dragon Quest Builders is out on PlayStation platforms. That's the Minecraft-ish game in the Dragon Quest
I
universe.
don't know why people aren't more excited about it. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how the finished product is, but it's like this cool. I don't know how deep the Minecrafty part of it goes,
Yeah.
but it's Minecrafty in the sense that you can break down and rebuild the world block by block
Sure.
as you want. But then it's Dragon Quest themed, like it's an RPG with slimes
Slimes.
and all the other cool Dragon Quest stuff. Like to me, I'm like, yeah,
Like
okay.
metal slimes and giant slimes.
Yeah, but it's like
Poison slimes.
I like all
Double
that stuff. I have
slimes.
nostalgia for all that stuff, and I like that sandboxy gameplay. So I'm optimistic about that one too.
Slime Gang.
That same day, Rise of the Tomb Raider comes to PC, which is a very, very good game.
And there's some DLC coming out for based on Baba Yaga
Yeah.
stuff that's coming out
Yeah,
for Tomb
yeah.
Raider.
That's a little
but
bit more-
and we don't have a release date for that yet, but
Baba Yetu,
hopefully
the
it's
Grammy
sometime.
Award-winning Civilization 4 theme song,
I can't
or
hear
something else.
I can't hear Baba Yaga without kind of snickering. I'm just like, what's a Baba Yaga?
it's like a Eastern
I
European.
think it's
myth.
a real like
Yeah.
mythological like, being or creature.
Play the
Well,
DLC.
you just said a real mythology.
Yeah.
I get that it comes from fiction.
It's not a myth that was just made up for the game. It's a myth that has existed on planet Earth.
Do you
It does not change how silly the name is.
Do you
David.
think Yetis are funny?
The name Yeti is kind of funny, but not as funny as Baba Yaga. That's
I think
pretty
Yetis
funny.
are scary.
They're kind of scary, but they're not real, so it's fine.
January 29th, this PC game Bombshell. No, not familiar with that one.
No.
Also, This War of Mine, the little ones, comes to PS4 and Xbox One. That game's supposed to be a real upper.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Makes
it's
you
gonna be-
love life.
What is it called?
This War of Mine.
Oh, yeah, this
The
one.
little
Yeah, yeah,
ones.
the little ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
gonna be
that
real
looks like
sad.
a bummer.
Yeah,
It's like about a prison camp or something.
It's about the effects of war on
children.
Well, what do you call it when you're not part of, not one of the combatants?
Civilians?
Civilians.
Yeah.
Yes. What am I called?
What do you call this?
January 29th, also PAX South kicks off in Texas.
That's right. I was there at PAX
Vince
South
went to the
last year.
very first PAX South.
That's right. I was there and with a couple of IGN video team members, and we made there was a surprising amount of awesome stuff there. So hopefully,
Yeah,
there'll be
it's
some
a,
cool
it's a
stuff this year.
fans conference. So
Yeah.
we don't expect a lot of news and stuff.
Are you going this year?
No. Negative, sadly.
All right, well, now we're in February. February 2nd, you guys
made
ready?
it.
Have you guys already
February is such a big month.
set aside some time to play American Truck Simulator?
Oh snap!
You know
That's
it.
not what I meant when I said very big month.
It worked out perfectly.
Wait. Does it have CB radios in it?
I mean,
Of course it
I'll
does.
totally-
wouldn't be
I'll
much of
totally
a
play.
simulator.
Simulator if
Shake
it
the
did.
trees and break the leaves, little buddy. We're pulling into Astrodome City. Got Smokey on your 6.
Also, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is out that day. I can't believe Digimon is still a thing. Gravity Rush Remastered comes to PS4.
Yep, excited for that.
And Tales of Symphonia HD comes to PC.
Yeah, that's the only Tales game I've ever played. It's the first Tales game, right? First one that came out in America. Am I crazy?
I don't know.
Was it the very
Is that
first
one that
in
came to
America?
Wii?
Are you
I
talking
played-
about the
no.
Sonic the Hedgehog double-tailed protagonist?
That was a GameCube game.
Yeah, it was a GameCube game. I remember playing it and loving it, and I've enjoyed the Tales series. I can't
Regardless, that
remember.
was my first and only exposure to the Tales franchise, and I have nostalgia for that, so maybe I'll go back to it.
Miles Tales per hour.
Per hour.
It took me years to catch on to that pun.
I know, isn't that crazy?
February 5th is XCOM 2.
Yes.
Only PC this time around.
PC only.
Yes. Yes.
For now.
Gonna be
Very
great.
exciting.
February 9th is Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia. So let's see if you'll be...
I'll probably be reviewing that.
You
one
know,
too.
I got to go back to XCOM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for a second.
We skipped right over it.
Because our good friend and colleague Dan Stapleton made every one of us in his XCOM game for his teams, and they're kind of randomly chosen in it, but there's like a preview up right now, and like basically everybody in every video he's going to be making for the next few weeks is like all the IGN staff, and he did a really good job. I have sunglasses.
They
so-
played up the aspect of the game.
sniper.
Everyone already named their XCOM squad mates after their friends and family, but now the character creator is a little bit more robust. It's not like an insane character creator, but you can do a little bit more to make Sam look like Sam, and so that
A little bit more, yeah. And then also that game's all about mods.
yeah, that's very very moddable this time, which is probably the most exciting part about XCOM 2. Is that game's going to have a life for a decade if the mod support is as extensive as it sort of seems to be.
And also, it's just kind of cool how they've flipped the whole concept of what XCOM is around a little bit in terms of like who's fighting who. You know, it follows on the idea that that XCOM failed, basically an enemy within, and the aliens took over, and now we're living in a kind of an artificial utopia, dystopia. That's
Yeah, the aliens are like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And this is either you're with them or you're against them. So a bunch of people a whole generation of people have just kind of deluded themselves into believing that it's fine and we're fine and this is a good world and this is a good life, and you're kind of
hate
like
those aliens
leading
so much.
a rebel group to like kind of take back control from the aliens. So it's kind of interesting.
Great premise.
Yeah.
Getting back to Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia.
No.
On February 9th. I just think it's interesting that China came out last spring, and then now after all this time, the final two are ready to go. In 2 months back to back.
Yeah. That was fast.
Dying Light: The Following comes out that day, which is an expansion, and then I think also like a standalone full like Game of the Year edition. So.
Yeah, I wasn't enamored with Dying Light. A lot of people at IGN really liked it. A lot of people were a little bit more so-so on it. I was in the so-so camp, but I bring this up because I think The Following looks like drastically improved. I'm actually pretty interested in it. I might revisit the game.
What about Firewatch?
Firewatch looks extremely
So
interesting.
Yeah,
Excited.
that's what I was
Not
talking about
bad
this
game.
being the year of the indie. Like, that's one of the really high-profile, awesome ones.
Man, February 9th. Check this out. Firewatch, Mighty Number 9,
Yep.
and
All over that. All over that.
Unravel.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yarny.
Yarny, you will want to protect him.
Firewatch is like, I mean, it's an indie game for sure, but it has like big names as part of it. And like Ollie Moss is the artist. He does amazing Star Wars posters. I'm sure everybody here has seen. Everybody's watching has probably seen them. There's great stuff. And then the voice actors are all famous too.
Yeah. They got
The guy from Mad Men, Harry. is the-
Yeah, Harry
is the-
Crane from Mad Men is the main character.
That game has such a great style though. It looks so pretty. I can't wait
Yeah.
to play it. And what other games out that day? It's a crazy day. Mighty
Mighty
Number
Number
9
9.
And Unravel.
and Unravel, which is Yarny.
Yep. And Mighty Number 9 obviously is the KG Inafune.
Mega Man
the new Mega
sequel
Man.
that's not Mega Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
All great games.
I want that in my veins.
Vince, what big Capcom game comes out February 16th?
Street Fighter 5.
No, it's actually Project Cross Zone 2.
Yeah.
That's also good. That's,
Got him.
See, now it's funny because I really, obviously Street Fighter 5 is like the highlight of my year probably.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I actually legitimately I was looking at like our tracker. We keep a document of like when games are coming out and like try to figure out who can review them. And I'm like, oh man, I can't review the Project X Zone because I'm
Yeah.
going to be busy with Street Fighter 5.
I think Cross Zone. I thought Cross Zone was pretty unimpressive. I don't know why.
Yeah,
you didn't
actually,
choose.
It's not
I'm a
impressive,
big-
but I think it's fun.
I'm a big
Really?
turn-based strategy fan, and I wasn't super into Cross Zone.
It's just silly and goofy and out there.
And
like,
it's
I don't
not
know.
just Capcom characters; it's also Sega characters
Yep.
are in there.
Yep.
and
Hey,
some Nintendo.
Street Fighter 5 not
Fighter
coming out in arcades.
Not coming out. Well, there's arcades. Like,
Yeah, but
it's-
are arcades a
arcade.
thing?
4
But it's
came out in arcades.
Four did get an arcade release. Yeah.
It's just insane that a Street Fighter game is not coming to arcades. I didn't realize that. You brought that up because Sam, you and
Well,
I
not American
arcades,
arcades in
we
any case.
realized that today that it's just not coming to arcades, and it's like
What
that's
about
so
Jap-
bizarre.
I don't think it is in Japan either.
Yeah, that I'm not sure about. I mean, even here in America, there weren't many Street Fighter 4
Yeah.
No.
vanilla,
But it was alright.
there's one in
arcade.
our lunchroom.
Yeah, well, it's not. That's not actually an arcade cabinet though. Like that's just a system. With,
Yeah, it's a system
with
in an
games inside of
arcade
Yeah.
cabinet.
Yeah,
It's still pretty.
it's still pretty.
I'm surprised it's not coming to arcades in Japan because fighting games are still a big deal. in
Yeah,
Japan.
and Japan
arcades.
still has a good arcade culture as
Yeah.
well. So,
February 19th, I'm excited for Fire Emblem Fates
oh yeah,
on
Me
3DS.
too. I'm so excited to have another
I feel like
Fire
that game's
Emblem
sneaking
game.
up on people. Like Fire Emblem was and remains a lot of people's favorite 3DS game ever made. One of
Awakening.
the
But they're
favorite-
always so different from each other.
Excuse me, Awakening. Yeah.
So like I heard, I mean, Jose's played a lot of this one. He just didn't say, he said it wasn't as good as the other one. So we'll
Which
see.
Fates?
He played the Japanese version, yeah.
Maybe it's just
But
because he
another
couldn't.
one is so good.
Maybe it's just because he
Awakening's
couldn't read
really-
anything.
That's absolutely true.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, I said that as a joke. So.
it's a tough translation.
February 23rd, I'm excited to play Far Cry Primal.
Really?
Big fan. Yeah, big fan of the Far Cry series. Why you hating?
I just don't think Primal looks very good. I think it looks like something that started out as a $20 or $30. Like it started out as a Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
And they said, here's another 8 months. Pad it as much as you can to make it $60. That's the feel that I get from it.
yeah, and also I mean the theme of it. I mean, I think Blood Dragon was a much more interesting spin on
For
what
sure.
Far Cry had established, and I don't know. This looks a little bit more like.
It doesn't look
more
like a
of-
send up of anything.
Yeah, it doesn't-
like-
it doesn't.
Well, because it's not. But I mean, so maybe it's unfair to even keep making the Blood Dragon comparisons.
Right.
I don't know. I would have much rather have seen a
I like
Blood.
Mastodons, guys.
I don't know.
You're a
I-
Mastodon fan.
I'm a
I like that
Mastodon
you have like an
fan.
animal companion. I definitely like some stuff about the game, but I really, really liked Far Cry 3. I played about half of 4, and now I don't care about Primal. Like it's time for them to do something very different with those mechanics.
Yeah, I haven't done any.
That's what Primal looks like to me.
I haven't touched a Far Cry game since the first.
Since Far Cry?
Yeah, since Far Cry.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the
3
original
and
Far
4
Cry.
are both great.
Yep.
Yeah, no, they looked great. It was just, I don't know, like at some point, like that kind of like open sandboxy shooter in the wilderness, just kind of like the setting. I think it was the setting more than anything that didn't grab me anymore. Like I didn't feel like walking around the jungle anymore. I wanted those same mechanics in a different, something in a world that felt a little bit different.
Far Cry 3
How
is
about
one
one
of the,
with giant elephants with hair?
Far Cry 3 is a game from last generation that I find myself thinking about more than almost any other game. Like I'm totally gonna end up replaying that game.
I only
in a year
played
or two.
Blood Dragon.
That's awesome.
I didn't play Far Cry. I played a little bit of Far Cry 3, maybe. I can't remember it at all,
Please.
but I only played Blood Dragon. I was like, oh, that's my only experience with Far Cry. It's
I
fine.
love so Vince, you should check out those games because it has these outposts, and like that's part of the game is like taking down these outposts, and you can approach them any way you want, and that's why I liked Metal Gear
Yeah.
so much because that's all the game was. It's just the outposts.
It's just outposts
from
the
Far
game.
Cry.
Yeah.
Also that same day, February 23rd, is Plants vs Zombies: Garden Warfare 2.
Cool.
Looks really good.
Didn't
actually.
think,
Yeah.
like, and it's funny because I didn't think that was a game when they first showed it. I was like, what are they doing? Trying to make a class-based or character-based shooter out of this franchise. Just
Yeah.
it reeked of like, hey, we're just trying to do something with the license. And
Well, it reeked of
but
like launch game.
Yeah,
Like,
that-
whoa, but then it turned out to be one of the better ones, and
Yeah.
now the sequel actually looks like very improved.
Oh, totally.
March 1st, Heavy Rain comes to PS4. If you want to pick up some plates and put them down again.
I loved Heavy Rain.
I did too. It's
I
one
don't
of those
care
things.
to- I don't care to play it again.
Origami.
Exactly.
I thought it was cheesy. It's okay, though. I played the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't want to play. I'm with you. I don't want to play it again.
What was the other one? What was the follow-up?
Beyond
Two Souls?
See, a lot of people liked Heavy Rain and didn't like Beyond Two Souls, but I love Beyond Two Souls even more. I feel like I was the only person in the IGN office.
Yeah, I thought that
like-
game had some bad taste moments.
Oh yeah, that's true, but I still loved it.
What about on March 4th, Twilight Princess HD on Wii U?
Don't need to play through that one again. But it might look really neat.
Underrated Zelda game.
What can they do? What I'm interested in is that game was so highly rated, first of all. There's no
Yeah,
way you
it
call that an
was.
underrated Zelda game.
People
I'd
hate
almost
that
want a
game
of the year.
now, and it's
Oh,
not
but
fair.
it's
Oh, I
highly
I
rated.
hated the game
It's not
then.
underrated.
I mean, but
Yeah,
I think people younger than us.
I
like that game a
absolutely
lot.
think it's underrated.
And maybe in this office.
I think when people think about that game, they're remembering the slow intro, which is totally like a concern, like it's a legitimate problem that it takes 6 hours for the game to get going. But then after that,
Dungeons
it's
are
like
great.
arguably maybe the best 3D Zelda experience.
I just
It's got
don't
the
like it
best
'cause-
dungeons, the
But I
best
also-
puzzles.
I think the overworld is too small, and I don't like how it makes
The
me
overworld's
go to
huge.
no, it's not. There's really small quarters that you go through. If you play it now, I just played through it last year, and I thought it was way small.
But it's like big. Like, what are you comparing it to? Like the
Like
open
Skyrim.
ocean. Well, yeah, but like, what about in Zelda terms?
Like Ocarina of Time
It's way bigger than Ocarina of Time.
or Wind Waker. Well, but Ocarina of Time was for its time. It just felt really big, and I felt like when Twilight Princess came out, it felt small, especially after Wind Waker.
I mean, I don't absolutely love Twilight Princess. I think it's unfair. I feel like the game's gotten such a bad
I mean,
rap.
it's not open. It's like everything has a doorway to get to another area.
When I talk about Twilight Princess being really good, I think the dungeons are probably the best Zelda dungeons. Best 3D Zelda dungeons.
So I'm really curious what they do with the concept of the speed sail in Wind Waker actually solved a bunch of concerns about Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if there'll be any changes made to that. I mean, not necessarily like skip, maybe faster dialogue
See,
skipping
I think
in the
I
intro
could
or
be
something.
wrong, but I think they didn't do Wind Waker was a remake, and this is not. This is just a port with up-res
An
graphics.
HD port.
Yeah, but I don't think. Maybe I'm incorrect, but I thought they're not making any kind of adjustments or changes to the gameplay at all.
We didn't really know until right about the time it came out the changes they made to Wind Waker, but we'll see.
Well, I hope they do, honestly, because like
But that was
one of
like
the
a big
reasons,
$60 retail release. Like,
Yeah.
one of the things I didn't like about Twilight Princess, and that I haven't liked about 3D Zelda game pretty much since Wind Waker, is just that the overall the control scheme just feels super unnecessarily clunky and kind of vague and weird. Like I feel like they just need to change the way everything is mapped out, because I feel like the mapping that they did with the N64 controller, like they've just tried to like take that mapping and extrapolate it across other controller types, and it's like, no, just throw that out the window and make a whole new control system, remap things completely so it's all a little bit more
Really think
intuitive and
controls?
direct.
I mean, they did have Wii controls.
There
when
was,
that game
there
came
was
out.
that, and there was a limited number of buttons, obviously, on the
Do you not like the
controller at that
Z-targeting?
point. Z-targeting was
Do
the
we need to
biggest.
move on? Is that what you're giving us?
We do
Oh,
have
okay.
more games to get through. It's okay.
All right, cool. Well,
Twilight Princess
it's a
HD
controversy.
is out
Yep.
March 4th. The March 8th is The Division from Ubisoft.
Yes, that's super
Which-
exciting.
supposedly.
Yep.
Well, you think it's going to be delayed?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not basing that on anything other than that it's just this huge, gigantic game, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I just-
Yeah, and not only is it huge and gigantic, like for being only like 3 months out now from its release, and the fact that like there's no kind of like closed beta, there's no big presence for that game in a while now. So it seems like they've been a little bit too quiet.
They have
for the
done some
action.
online tests, but not like high-profile,
Yeah.
big testing
Right.
sessions.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a little bit too quiet for us to rely on it coming out in March. But that's
Well, March 11th is a game I'm very interested in, is Hitman. Mostly just because they're taking such a different rollout model this time, where it's a full $60 game, but you only get one scenario at launch, and then they're going to be rolling out more content for you in the weeks and months afterwards.
I like
That's
it.
for free.
I mean, I play a lot of mobile games, so maybe I'm already conditioned. Like Final Fantasy Record Keeper comes out with a few new dungeons every week, and you play through those. So it's like I'm already sort of in that mode. But I'm totally down to play a Hitman game like this.
it depends.
I like
I've never
Hitman.
played a Hitman game.
Do they?
They still have to sell me on it.
What about Hitman Go?
No, I should play that one.
Hit
That looks
Mango.
Hitman
fun. Hit
Go.
Mango. I'm not a fan of mangoes.
What?
I like how they
All
smell.
right, let's.
You're a fan of mangoes and not mangoes?
Yeah, I like mastodons.
You got it
not
backwards.
mangoes.
Oh, mastodons.
I like the
Sorry.
band Mastodon.
That's a good band.
Vince, March 24th. Killer Instinct,
Yes.
Season 3.
It kicks off in any case, I'm super excited. Like I thought season 2 was, when they switched hands to Iron Galaxy, I was, I wasn't worried at all because I know that Iron Galaxy is a very capable studio, but at the same time, anytime you craft something from the ground up the way that Double Helix did, and then you have to give it up like kind of midway while you're still building on it. I'm always nervous about those situations in any game, especially with a fighting game where the mechanics are so important. So, but like they really, Iron Galaxy designed so many like distinct, interesting mechanics around every single new character they introduced. They all felt distinct and wacky and zany and interesting to learn. So I'm super excited to see what they have to bring with season 3.
Is Iron Galaxy an Amazon game studio? Is that right?
No, you're thinking of Double Helix is now an Amazon game
Ah,
studio.
okay.
Yeah,
The previous one.
Yeah, Amazon bought
Okay,
Double
Double
Helix.
Helix,
Yeah, definitely.
Sam, on March 25th, you're going to play Hyrule Warriors Legends on your 3DS.
I don't even know what that is.
You know
That's the-
Hyrule Warriors.
That's
Yeah, I
came to
played
Wii U
Hyrule Warriors.
last year?
Yeah,
2 years ago?
2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Now it's coming to 3DS.
Oh, for 3DS. Oh, I thought you meant it. Oh, yeah, that's the one with Linkle in it.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about Linkle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that.
Also a Lincoln fan.
I'll play that. I didn't play Hyrule Warriors because I just didn't, But I feel like it makes a lot of sense as a 3DS game. I'll check it out on that.
I played
platform.
Hyrule Warriors, and I thought it was actually okay. But and we gave it like a 7. And, but on 3DS, I'm concerned because that game is all about lots of characters on screen. That's totally
true.
limited by the 3DS.
Yeah, a couple of times I've ever played a game that's like a Musu style game like that on the 3DS. It's always had to be.
Musu.
So just the to boil it down, like the Dynasty Warriors formula.
Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. Every time I've ever
Is
played one of
Musu
those,
a game?
what's up? No. It's just like kind of like a subgenre, or that's all. But
Is that a Japanese word? Where does musu come from?
Are you saying MOSOU?
yes.
Okay, I've seen that. I in reference to these games before.
Yes.
I know what it means. Sorry.
Yeah, I actually don't know the literal
Interesting.
translation. I
I
just
heard
always
that.
use it to associate those kinds of games.
I hadn't heard that before.
But yeah, I've played a couple of them on 3DS, and same exact thing you said. Like, in order to get that many characters working on screen on the 3DS, there's always a compromise that has to get made. Either it's the performance, or the AI has to be dumbed down even farther, or something.
Hey, did they ever bring back Primal Rage?
No.
No. Wasn't there some kind of campaign
No,
to do that?
but if they did, the fighting game players would lose their minds, because so many like serious fighting game players have a secret guilty love for
Really?
Primal
For
Rage.
Primal Rage?
Yeah, not as a good game, but as it's
That's
just
the one with the
a bad one.
dinosaurs?
Yeah, just as a bad game that's fun to
Where
play.
they would like eat your corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there'd be people in the background that they just eat.
Didn't they? Am I making this up, or did they make a sequel where you were humans that transformed into dinosaurs?
That's called Bloody Roar, and that's like and that's the second, I would say. So
Roar, that's
Bloody
a cool
Roar,
name.
you just turn into different animals.
Yeah, I think they made a Primal Rage 2 where it's like the whole conceit of Primal Rage is it's dinosaurs fighting, but then in Primal Rage 2, I think you were humans like 75% of the time.
I don't remember there ever being a Primal
maybe I
Rage
dreamed
2.
that. That might not even be true.
You can be a monkey in
Pretty good
Primal
dream.
Rage.
Ooh, there was a monkey.
Or an ape. A giant ape.
There's a long list of guilty pleasure
Anyway,
fighting games.
Not coming back, huh?
Bloody
Well-
Roar and Primal Rage are right at the top.
There should be no guilt in loving rival schools. If that's
Oh,
on
that's
the
right.
list.
Nah, I agree. I'm in.
March 28th, the first Oculus Rifts ship that day.
You get that Eve Valkyrie.
So you Valkyrie Lucky's Tale, which is a 3D platformer that's shipping with Oculus.
Yeah, that they funded.
Yeah. And also Adrift is supposed to be an Oculus launch
Yep,
game, so that
that's
should
right.
be around
Cool.
that date.
Those are all very
Wait,
different
so
types
is
of
Drift-
game. That's
is
really
Drift
cool.
coming to VR first, or is it hitting other platforms?
I mean, maybe it comes to PC at the same time.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've played Adrift on an Oculus for a preview event last year, and I was just like left absolutely just gobsmacked. Just
Yeah.
that was
With
that was
Adrift?
yeah.
Wow.
That was the moment where I was like, I mean, I haven't played it since then. That was back before they had like really the mechanics of the game in. At that point, it was just like, hey, you can move around and explore and see the whole like kind of beginning area of the game, but they hadn't inserted all the puzzle solving and adventuring mechanics that they presumably said they were going to add. I don't know what the status is currently, but I know that just the experience of being in space and being in that weightless zero-G environment with an Oculus on sold me on VR for the year.
Interesting. All right, March 29th, MLB The Show is out on PlayStation for you baseball fans. March 31st, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness is on PS4.
It's a hell of a name.
The next
Yeah.
Star Ocean game.
Yeah, Star Ocean's an
And
interesting
sometime
series.
in March, Day of the Tentacle will be out. They said March. They didn't give us an exact date, but I'm really excited for that one.
Yep.
Big,
I never played Day.
Big Maniac Mansion fan.
Yeah.
I played
And you
Tentacle
played
back
through
in the
all
day
Day,
too.
too.
Yeah. So that should be really good. Now, analysts predict that sometime between March and May, Nintendo will unveil the concept for the NX console,
Yep.
which would be the run-up to E3.
I'm an analyst, and I think it'll happen sooner than that.
Sooner than March.
Will somebody write a story about me?
Scoop!
Scoop. Well, I mean, Nintendo keeps saying you're going to hear about it more than a year, so
What do you think, TGS?
this is the new year. No.
Uh,
They don't do TGS.
Oh, that's right.
They'll do E3.
Pop quiz hot shot.
Oh.
What Xbox One exclusive is out April 5th?
Quantum Break.
That's the one. Break, which will be very interesting to see how they handle their TV show game.
Right. When
They
they
go back and forth between.
when they showed at E3, I thought
It's
that
insane, right?
it's crazy. When they showed at E3, I was like, they're gonna announce here, along with this awesome gameplay trailer, gameplay demonstration they gave. I'm like, they're gonna announce that the TV show is gone. They're just gonna say, you know what, that was an idea.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it. It's gone.
Nope.
And then they're like, nope, we're absolutely going.
We got
full speed ahead with
Littlefinger.
it. Yep.
We got Iceman.
We got Littlefinger. We got that creepy dude from Lost.
April 12th, Dark Souls 3 is out. For those of you that
Indeed.
like the Dark Souls games.
Yep.
Oh yeah, those people.
Those weirdos.
I don't know. I gave Bloodborne a fair shot over the
Yep.
weekend, and I'm not one of those people.
I gave
But did
Dark
you-
Souls a shot and thought it wasn't fun. Tried Dark Souls 2, it wasn't fun, and tried Bloodborne and it was not fun. And I said, these are not for me.
I'm curious, Damon. Did you ever play a Souls game like
No.
not Bloodborne?
I mean, just Dark Souls 2.
Oh, okay. So you played Dark Souls 2. So you
mean,
played a Souls game.
for a few hours.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bloodborne feels like I loved Bloodborne. I thought Bloodborne was an excellent game, but I also felt that it was missing some of the things that made for me that made Dark Souls interesting. So I'm actually looking forward to Dark Souls.
I think it's actually pronounced Bradburn.
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 The same day Ratchet and Clank comes to PS4. Is that a remake, a reboot? What is that one?
It's kind of like a reimagining or kind of
It's a remake in the sense that it's a reboot, remake. I don't know what
It doesn't have the same-
it's somewhere
it doesn't
in
have the-
between.
A remake would say it has the same levels and areas. And
It doesn't have the
And it
same
does
levels
not.
and areas. It's a new
It's a
game.
reboot. The
Yeah.
same characters, but as if you're meeting them for the first time.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
correct.
And I'll tell you, I played that game at E3. That is literally one of, without hyperbole, one of the prettiest video games I've
It's
ever
gorgeous.
played in
Yeah.
my life. I've never
gorgeous.
I honestly can't. It looks like you're playing a Pixar cartoon to a degree that it's like, yeah, Ratchet and Clank. It looks really good, but if you haven't watched videos of that game in like 1080p or something, like go
ahead and do it.
because
Yep.
I couldn't. Like, I honestly can't believe how pretty it is.
Sam, how crazy is it that April 22nd is the day we get our first new Wii U game of 2016?
That is pretty crazy.
Almost 4 complete months into the year until we get our first Wii U game, which is Star Fox Zero.
Yeah, and it's not Zelda.
Right.
Yeah, Star Fox got delayed till then.
There's
We'll see.
nothing coming for Wii U before then. That's crazy.
If it was delayed any more, it'd be at E3 for a third time.
Yeah. That same day, PAX East kicks off in Boston. I'll be there.
Very exciting.
Let's hang out. April 26th, the next week, Uncharted 4 will finally arrive on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That should be really fun.
I hope I wasn't sick of Uncharted for 3, so I hope
Nope.
I'm not for 4.
I cannot get sick of Uncharted.
I mean, I hope.
Well, I'm
for-
worried I
So-
can, so
I feel like there's space.
I just don't know. I don't know. I might be sick of it.
It's been a long time. Like, I don't remember what year 3 came out. What, 4 years ago?
Yeah, there's been plenty of time
2011
to.
maybe?
There's been plenty of
sounds
time
right.
for that, like to wash off of our brains a little bit and be ready for more of those firefights. But the thing I'm excited about Uncharted 4 is the level designs. That sounds like a weird thing to say from just like watching, but the level designs really impressed me. Like
Yeah.
how they really facilitate. It looks like different kinds of gameplay, but like all kind of at once. It's not like here's the stealth section and then here's the platform.
Do we know what like the
section,
MacGuffin is in this one, or like what the?
We don't really know anything about the plot.
So we don't know
other
what like the
than-
ancient history elements are or anything.
Not
Not
really.
exactly. No, not exactly.
I agree with you, Vince. I feel like that's the direction the franchise has been heading. They've had these cinematic. It's always been Uncharted's thing. It's these cinematic moments,
Yeah.
but figuring out how to make the whole game feel that way instead of like here's a moment and then here's downtime and here's a moment. It's just like a continuous like you're gonna go knock a dude out and then you're gonna shoot some dudes and you're gonna sneak around and choke a guy out and it's all kind of blended. Now.
Yeah, and that's a feat of level design. In order to
But
make
does that mean
levels
the game plays itself a lot?
No, it's actually the
opposite of
opposite,
that,
right?
yeah.
It's exactly the opposite of that, where you feel like you have the freedom to go from one style of gameplay to the other, all within the same space.
Whoa.
It's really hard.
Neat.
April 28th, Total War Warhammer.
I'm personally very excited about that.
So this is the Total War strategy series with the Warhammer franchise?
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly. For
correct.
the first time, they're not doing like a historical scenario.
It's
Yeah, it should
interesting.
be. It's a really smart
neat.
use of the Warhammer license and the Total War. Like, I hope it turns out good.
Yeah, and that's the Total War series is actually a perfect place to play out Warhammer battles.
Yep.
Only 2 games currently planned for May. May 3rd is Battleborn.
Awesome.
I'll be very interested to see how that is received.
Yeah, it's the game has a weird. And I've said this before. The game has like just like a kind of a weird identity / messaging problem where I've played the PvP, which is ostensibly really what the game is supposed to be about, but that they've showed so little of it to the public, and they've almost always shown it as kind of like a hey, it's kind of like Borderlands-y. If you like Borderlands, you'll kind of like this because it's got humor and
Yeah.
shooting, but it's also got something for multiplayer lovers. It's like they've been so
it's
down.
kind of a MOBA.
It's kind of right. It's for the every kind of bad. Like they've done the whole marketing thing where it's like this game's gonna be for everyone no matter what you like. And I feel like because of that, the messaging has been kind of muddled.
Yeah.
I feel like they'd be better off just saying, here's a dope hero shooter that kind of has a campaign and like go play it and enjoy it. Because I think it's good on that level. I think it can totally hold its own. Not maybe with Overwatch, but certainly with Gigantic and some of the other games like that are coming out this year. I think Battleborn has a great matchup against,
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
think
it-
it should sell out more of that.
I think it's getting overwatched pretty hardcore.
Whoa! Shazam!
The other game currently planned for May 24th is Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Yes.
Yeah,
Super excited about
sad
it.
We
about
were just
that one.
watching a speed run of Mirror's Edge today.
Yeah, happening, which is very impressive.
and people will know how to break that game in really funny ways.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised Mirror's Edge is coming back. I mean, I like
I
that
am, me
game,
too.
Great, right?
but I just can't. I can't see the financial reasoning behind that. I'm happy it's happening.
Yeah, me too.
Is it an indie game now? Does it count as an indie game?
No, not an indie game.
Nope.
Yeah. June 14th, E3 kicks off in LA. Hopefully we'll get a full NX reveal then from Nintendo.
Great.
Hopefully.
Then June 21st, at long last, No Man's Sky will finally arrive.
Oh goodness gracious!
What an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah, I
That's a VR game, right?
well, no,
I
that's
mean-
the rumor.
I thought it was. I
Did
think
they
it's
announce that it
PlayStation
was?
VR. Yeah.
But we don't know when PlayStation VR will be out. But
Yeah,
No
that's
Man's
true.
Sky is supposed to be out June 24th.
I think it would be a
it's
great
updated.
candidate for. I think it would be a great candidate for PlayStation VR, which I've messed around with and had a great time with. But I mean,
So here's my fear about
yeah.
No Man's Sky. On the one hand, it's incredibly impressive that there's an entire galaxy to explore, and you can find the game is so big that you personally can find millions of planets that no one else on Earth has ever, like no other person playing the game has ever seen.
Just
And you
remember
get to-
Spore.
and you get
remember
to-
the promise of Spore.
Right, that's my concern. Is that it's going to be,
Or Mass Effect, for that matter.
It's going to be wide as the ocean, but deep as a puddle. That's my fear
Sure.
about the game. So I hope there's some gameplay depth there. Although I still think it's incredibly neat that I don't know, like I don't understand how it works. Like you name a planet, then if one other human being ever stumbles on that planet, like it's persistent. Like they find what you found,
Right.
And like I don't know. And there's some secret about what's at the center of the galaxy, and like the central mystery behind it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing is that we still don't know what the gameplay loop is like. We've
Well,
heard
that's
descriptions of it. We know in a vague sense we know that like the idea is you start farther on the edge of the galaxy. The idea is that you go and you explore and you trade and you make money to upgrade your ship so you can go farther towards the center of the galaxy. And at the center of the galaxy, you're going to find something, an answer to something.
Right.
I mean, like in terms of like if I sit down for an hour to play No Man's Sky. Like, what is the arc of my experience?
Yeah.
And is that arc, is there like a 30 seconds of fun there that I'm going to want to keep doing over and over again?
Yeah.
We still kind of don't know that. At least for me, I don't feel like that's answered. But I think that'll come together. My bigger concern, going back to what you were saying, not only am I afraid that they're hanging too much on how wide the ocean is, but what if, I mean, people think like when they play test the game, for instance, like, oh, we gave this to tons and tons of people in early access, and we had them test the game, and we found everything that you could possibly have done. And then, of course, when it's actually out in the wild, you find that people are way better at breaking stuff and finding stuff than you think.
Sure.
So my fear is, what if the whole premise of this game is like there's endless discovery, and 6 months from now, like Reddit Gaming has found everything systematically and mapped out the universe. Then what's the game?
yeah, well, I mean, it's literally mathematically impossible for that part to happen. I mean, it's all procedurally generated. So my fear is that there's just not going to be anything that super interesting to find because it's all
There's
made
that
by.
too.
We got to see their dev tools and how they procedurally generate
is
stuff,
really
and it was
cool.
amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah.
It was like here's here's like this like platonic ideal of what a spaceship looks like, and then here's all the variations it can be, and the computers generate. So that was really neat.
Yeah.
Still blows my mind that that's from the people who made Joe Danger,
Yep.
which a game I
Big
loved.
fan.
A game
Game
I
was-
loved.
I
but
did
it's
love
just
it.
A very,
that's
like,
a
small, very
legitimate.
focused-
You gotta think about that when you're looking at No Man's Sky and be like, well,
I don't know. I can't connect those dots.
What if
From
that's-
Joe Danger to No Man's Sky?
What if that's at the center of the galaxy? You get to the center of the
Joe
galaxy,
Danger.
and it's the sequel
it's
to
Joe Danger 3.
Joe Danger 3 is the center of the galaxy.
I mean,
That would actually be pretty dope.
the same day as No Man's Sky, We Happy Few comes out. Which
game
looks
from
cool. I feel like it's one.
Ex-Bioshock devs, right?
I feel like it's one of a dozen games
Yeah,
currently in
from
development
Bioshock
that are
devs.
from ex-Bioshock.
Well,
devs.
what's funny is they
Creative
all have
explosion.
that Bioshock stamp on them, but all in like different
Yeah.
ways. Like
Yeah.
different people that worked on that game.
This has the
splintered-
insane people and mass stamp on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's super true though. I guess and other people took different things away from
That's
it.
neat.
It's sad to think, but like, actually, it's not sad to think. It's kind of happy to think, as a matter of fact, that all those people that got laid off when Irrational became
Yeah.
not what it was anymore. In a way, it's like, as much as it sounds cynical for them to be like, well, from a marketing department to be like, let's play up the fact that they were part of the development team of BioShock.
Yeah.
If that helped those people get jobs, that's awesome. I mean, I think about that. They're like, if we hire this person, not only do we get a talented programmer or designer or developer,
We get to say
we
it.
also get to say our game
say
is made
BioShock.
by the people who made BioShock.
That's true. Gentlemen, there's currently nothing planned for July. So
So no games.
you can take
E3
July off.
changes
We
it.
all right.
You can take July off unless you're like me and you have to go do Comic-Con in San
Comic-Con.
Diego. August 17th is Gamescom in Germany. August 23rd is Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Yes.
That was
Cool. Very-
delayed from the spring.
I saw
Yes.
that game at E3, and I mean, not that you need to see it at E3 to be hyped about it. I think Human Revolution, man, everyone wanted to hate on Human Revolution so much because Deus Ex has such a legacy, and a well-earned legacy. what I appreciate about Human Revolution is it wasn't afraid to. It's its own thing. Like it totally is. It has its own visual identity and its own gameplay identity.
Gold,
and
black and gold.
Yeah, well, it was black and gold, but it's not just black and gold
gorgeous.
though. Like it had the whole Victorian like candelabras that are futuristic and high back chairs and stuff like that. Like it had a really neat visual identity.
The architecture and the environment design were
And
really
so
something.
I respect Human Evolution just because it's a really polished, awesome game, but also because it had the confidence to carry that Deus Ex name and say, no, this is what we're going to do with this, and really pull that off. And so I absolutely expect Mankind Divided to be a Game of the Year contender for sure.
Not a fan.
Oh, that's too bad. I liked Human Revolution.
I like
Mastodons.
Dishonored for that type of game.
Yeah.
That's the game I like better. I don't like the cyberpunk like super corporate future.
I didn't like
like
Adam
Blade Runner?
Jensen. Is what I'll
I
say
like
that.
Blade Runner, yeah, but that's all I needed. That
That'll do.
I like Blade Runner because that has spaceships in it.
Okay.
Right? Let me just.
The spaceships can be a game changer.
So
And
if
his
it puts-
outer colonies.
Deus Ex has like
And-
futuristic
and-
helicopters.
Yeah.
If they
Cool
it's
helicopter
spaceships
pilots.
and or mastodons. If they put mastodon spaceships in Deus Ex, you would play it.
Everybody would play that game. That's,
You're getting pretty close to Blood Dragon at that point.
That's true.
Spacedodons.
Spacedodons.
yep.
August 28th is PAX Prime. September 15th is TGS. October is when we're supposed to get Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah.
Consider this, the next Banjo-Kazooie game.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
If they can get it finished by then.
If that game, I mean, I've been playing a lot of 3D platformers recently, and back the old ones, and they don't generally exist anymore. I don't really like the Ratchet and Clank series too much, but that's one coming out this year. And then Yooka-Laylee, if it can be as fun as Banjo-Kazooie, that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
When
Banjo-Kazooie
Rare
is really
Replay-
fun. I
when-
still think it's fun.
When Rare Replay came out, I 100%ed Banjo-Kazooie. Got all the notes, all the jiggies, all the honeycomb pieces. I did not get all the mumbo tokens.
99% of it.
So Yooka-Laylee, super, super hype for, I say it on GameScoop anytime something like this comes up, but nothing goes away forever, and everything old is new again. That's awesome. It's awesome that we get cutting edge AAA stuff alongside stuff that, tweaks our nostalgia bone.
Finally, in December, Divinity Original Sin 2 should be out.
That's-
And I got to play the Enhanced Edition this year and really, really liked it.
I still need to play that.
Yeah, I've put a lot of hours into Enhanced Edition because once it came to console, it was very easy to do split screen co-op
Yep.
with my girlfriend, and like we've sunk a lot of hours into that.
I should play that. My PC couldn't run it. I love Pillars of Eternity. I love that style of game, but because it's not pre-rendered like Pillars, it's 3D backgrounds. My computer couldn't actually. The frame rate was too bad. So maybe I'll pick it up on consoles.
Yeah, I had the same problem on the PS4. It runs like
Great.
not 60, but at 30,
Sure,
and
I
it
mean,
looks
whatever.
gorgeous.
The sequel is doing crazy things with co-op that no computer RPG. I shouldn't say no because there's always games doing crazy stuff all the time.
Sure.
But no sort of big mainstream computer RPG that I'm aware of has ever done on the co-op side of things. So it sounds really intriguing.
Yeah, and that's
big
just-
Kickstarter success.
Yeah. Those are really cool games. All right, that's everything that we know of that has a date this year.
Are we going to actually talk about the things that don't have dates?
Yes, we are going to talk about
It's
that.
going to be a 2-hour scoop.
No. I'm gonna keep us on track. But I wonder if you guys have any predictions for this year. And I have some questions I can lead with if you don't have your own predictions.
Just like in general?
Yeah.
Well,
Vince?
one thing I was going to say that I thought we were going to talk about at some point is that, this is the year that VR becomes a reality for the consumer.
Yep.
And it's an expensive reality and an early adopter's reality for sure.
That's
But
an easy one, Vince. They just gave us a price and a release date.
Sure, but I mean, like it's we're going to see a lot of it. I think we're going to get the PlayStation VR this year almost certainly, even though we don't have a release date
But
on
it's
that
so
yet.
expensive, and it's going to be hard for
Yeah,
people
it's
to
like-
even figure out how to use software.
Do you have a prediction about what PlayStation VR will cost?
Yes.
Lay it on us.
PlayStation VR is going to be $449.99.
It's going to be $4.99.
You think it's going to be $449?
$449, $499.
I think they're going to be.
But it will be under the Rift.
Yes, they're gonna. So I feel
why they're
like,
waiting.
Exactly.
I think
That's why
they're
they're
waiting,
waiting. That's
exactly.
why they're waiting. They're waiting to see what people's reaction to $600 is, and then they're gonna undercut it.
But there'll
They're
be
gonna-
console
they're gonna
bundles
Xbox
with
One
it
it.
and stuff like that.
What's that?
There'll be a console bundle and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
That'll be a crazy looking price.
Which
$800, $700.
which platform?
That's how much the PS3 was.
Which
terrible.
VR platform do you think will
tax.
emerge as the early frontrunner?
I think.
Rift is out first, but PSVR will have a bigger
Oculus.
install base.
Yeah.
Really? See, I think that
No, I
Oculus
don't
is a
agree.
great piece of hardware. I don't think that Oculus is going to be the leading.
Oh, I
I
absolutely
think
do.
Facebook is the install base that matters there.
No, it's going to be
They'll get
Oculus
there.
because
They'll
they
get
have
there.
the majority of like Oculus to a lot of people is VR.
Yeah.
Like that's the one that started the whole thing a few years ago. So they have all that mind share. It works on PC, and there's a billion PCs out there. Although to be fair, it does need to be a very high-end PC. And I think most important of all, they really seem to be focusing on non-gaming applications, which is hugely important to VR taking off. It doesn't just necessarily need to be a toy for gamers.
No, it's going to have porn, which is the biggest deal about it.
Right, like that whole open source
that
hacky
seems-
mentality of it, like download a thing for your Oculus and check it out, is going to be missing from PSVR.
Yeah, but PSVR will be its own thing, and for games, it'll
I
probably.
mean, I'm not saying
cool.
PSVR. Like my prediction, if which one is going to be the front runner, I absolutely say Oculus. That's not to take away from. I don't know whether PSVR is going to be a success.
I think
or-
those will be different things.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you mean by front runner, right? Like if you're talking about like what's going to be have the deepest cut commercial mass sale success, I don't think that's Oculus. What's going to be the cutting edge? What's going to be opening up interesting doors more and more in interactive software over the next decade? Oculus. I agree there.
See, I do think Oculus will outsell PlayStation VR.
See, I think I would like to live in that world. I think the Oculus is an awesome product.
Easily, you think?
Oh yeah,
You think
even
so?
Though, even though it costs more.
it's owned by the biggest company in the world right now. I
The
mean,
PlayStation-
I don't. They can put any resources they could they can make it $100 if they wanted
PlayStation
well, they're not-
VR
but they're
is a
making it-
peripheral,
for now, but we'll see what happens. You
and
know?
Oculus is not.
Right, that's one thing that I agree that the PlayStation VR has working against it, is that it's a peripheral, and historically, those kinds of add-ons, even ones that are supposed to greatly expand the capabilities of the platform, aren't.
You said Oculus is not a peripheral?
I don't consider it a peripheral though.
It's a peripheral for your computer. You
Well,
can't.
sure, but
I don't think it's the- I
that's
don't put it
different
in
when
the
you're talking
same
about the PC
category.
market. Yeah, when you're talking about
Yeah,
I agree
that's
with,
a weird distinction.
I agree with Justin. When you're talking about the PC market, it's like hard as like technically a graphics card is a peripheral too. Like it's all just
mean,
parts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What I'm saying is
Can you do
though,
anything with it on its own?
I consider the Oculus
No?
its own. The Oculus is its own platform. I compare the Oculus to the PlayStation 4 more than I compare the Oculus to the PlayStation VR in that.
in terms of
I think
business.
I think that's a strange
No,
distinction
I-
to make
I
because you
totally
can play
agree.
games on your PC without Oculus.
I actually agree with him not because of the functionality. Like you're right, if you go by the definition of what the word peripheral is, like you're right, they're both technically peripherals. I guess in terms of analyzing what their performance is going to be, I feel like there's a strong precedent in the console world that when you have the box, right, and then you have after the box comes out, you have this other thing that you can buy for it that greatly even if it greatly expands the functionality of that box, people still look at it as an optional over here thing. Like that market looks as a side dish, whereas the PC market looks at everything that comes out that you can put on your PC as just another option they should think about, especially if it's considered the cutting edge option. And that instantly becomes something that they want.
I mean,
So we probably have to move on.
Yeah.
But the peripheral nature of the Oculus will be interesting when you can plug it into a MacBook Air and it works fine. And it'll be even more interesting when you can plug it into your phone and it works fine. It's amazing to me that it takes a $1,200 computer right now to run it. Like I can't believe we're not beyond that technologically, but that's where we're at, and it's like really early. But that's when all of us will be playing VR. If that
Regardless-
ever happens, it's when
Yeah.
you can buy a stock laptop and just plug it in and it'll work with your stuff. You can't even play Steam games.
regardless of who wins VR, everyone that tries it, not everyone, most people who try it are enamored with it. It's real, it's here, it's expensive, but not out of the realm of, people buy $500 or $600 things for their household all the time, and it will be, $400 next year, and it will be $300 or $200 in a couple of years, and it is going to be something that's, real within 4 or 5 years, just nationwide and worldwide. I
have a
do
prediction.
genuinely believe that.
and I
Mass
do too.
Effect's going to be awesome.
We're gonna get to that.
I don't have any predictions for the year.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: will the Nintendo NX be out this year?
Yes.
You really think it's going to be this year?
Yeah, this fall.
2016.
I don't even think Zelda's going to be out this year.
I was going to say that I think they're gonna Twilight Princess the new Zelda.
No, we
That was
talked.
going to be my next question.
Yeah.
They're absolutely going to Twilight Princess Zelda, but it's this fall. The NX is
So
coming out.
both
They're
of you don't-
manufacturing the NX,
I think you got
this
another
summer.
year.
Wow, 2017.
That's right.
No, weren't you on the scoop where you talked about
Yeah.
them? They're like starting to manufacture
Yeah,
that console.
they said
like,
they said they are ramping up production on it.
Of course, this is also just like
I'm talking about Zelda.
a report.
Yeah.
You know.
I think, if I guess if NX, I don't know about NX. I just don't know. I'm not going to make that call. I did predict on this very podcast that NX Assassin's Creed would be in Egypt. And there was a rumor this week that it would be. So, look forward to that.
All right. Will anything change with the sales gap between?
That's not this year, though. They just said that on part of that rumor. It's next year, so it doesn't count.
Okay. Will anything change with the sales gap between PS4 and Xbox One?
Yeah, I think Xbox is going to close the gap a little bit this year.
I agree with that.
It's a big gap. I don't know if they're going to be able to totally reverse it, but they're certainly going to get back into the race for sure. They've kind of righted the ship a little bit. They've figured out some of the philosophical problems that they had in their approach at launch, and they're also assisted by the fact that a lot of Sony's exclusives kind of just faltered, slipped, and resulted in a 2015 that, while was a lot of fun and very good, was kind of a little bit naked in terms of big exclusive AAA titles. And I think that's a lot. And like Microsoft's lineup
that
this
backwards
year.
compatibility.
Yep, that backwards compatibility.
I like my PlayStation 4 a lot. It remains my console of choice.
Me too. Yep.
But it's no denying that 2014 was not a great year for that console.
15?
Yes, excuse me. 2015 was not a strong year for the PlayStation 4, and whereas the Xbox One had an absolutely stellar year.
Sure.
I think the cross-platform stuff has always been better on the PS4 graphically, and I think that's a huge deal.
It's still true. Yeah.
That drives me crazy because I'm playing most stuff on Xbox One now.
It is.
And I'm like, what resolution am I missing out on? Everyone.
Yeah, but I don't I played what was the big AAA? I don't even remember which console I played things on, which is your first sign. Right. It was The Witcher. I played The Witcher on Xbox One, not PS4, just because that's the copy I got through work. And yes, it's running at a lower resolution, but I don't feel I just don't. It was an incredible game, and it was still a 9 out of 10, and I just don't. If other people care a lot about that, kudos to them. But for me, I just don't. I don't care.
I just feel it. I feel that I'm playing the inferior version.
I don't feel it. See, I'm the opposite. I feel.
Even though I enjoy it,
they just got to your head.
I'm so focused on the game world and fucking slicing stuff in half and all that, and I'm not worried about 720p versus 900p at that point.
It's just too bad. It's just too bad that they can't be equivalent.
That's true. All right, let's quickly touch on the games supposed to come this year that we don't have release dates for. Telltale's Batman series, right?
Yep.
Crackdown 3.
Yep.
Oh yeah, get them orbs.
Cuphead.
Cuphead, I'm so excited for. I can't wait for Cuphead.
Dishonored.
Damon and I got destroyed in Cuphead.
Yeah, I was real bad at Cuphead. Dishonored 2.
Best booth at E3.
I hope that's out this year.
Yeah.
Doom. We actually saw maybe a possible release date leaked today. Final Fantasy 15.
Yep.
At long last.
So cool.
High on my list.
Yeah, man. I hope Final Fantasy's back.
Yeah, me too.
That Friday the 13th game.
All right.
Gears of War 4.
Yeah, I'm probably not as excited as some other people are about it, but it's still exciting. Yeah.
I think it'll be very, very fun. I hope it's different enough. Fresh.
Yeah.
Gravity Rush 2. Still waiting on a release date for it.
Dying for that. Yeah.
Halo Wars 2, announced last summer.
So cool. I love that series.
Yeah.
Well, I love the one
So
game in
for
that series. The strategy guide for it is great.
Horizon Zero Dawn, did they say that they're targeting 2016?
Yeah, they're targeting 2016,
But
and
it-
that is definitely at the very tippy top of my for the big AAA
Games
titles
that
coming out
could-
this year.
Or that you're excited for.
Yeah, that I'm excited for. That's that's.
I hope that's on the back of the
That's
box.
cool, man.
You know,
At the very tippy top of my list. Vince Janita.
IGN.com.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
I hope that's the big game.
That had a really
this fall.
weird trailer at E3.
I hope it's an
Great
RPG.
trailer.
Wait, what about Metroid Prime Federation Force?
No.
Wah, wah. No, but going back to Mass Effect for 1 second, I hope the big twist with Mass Effect, with the new Mass Effect, is that it's actually totally an RPG. They
Well, I
scale
hope so,
back
yeah.
to Mass
less of a
Effect
shooter.
1 style stuff, and they make it feel more of an actual universe to
I
explore.
would say that's probably not the trajectory of video games in general.
I just
but-
want to
I agree.
drive that moon rover around.
I
I
think
want
it's
that
gonna
Mako back.
I think it's going to be more Borderlands.
We'll see. Overwatch.
Overwatch, put it in my face.
Overwatch is real good.
Yep.
Persona 5.
Yes.
Man, what a great year.
What about Pokken Tournament?
That's a weird one.
Pokemon
Some
fighting
people
game.
Play it.
Some people are really
It's really
super
funny.
excited about it. I'm not. When I say that I'm not into that, people are always like, "Oh, that's because you're a fighting game snob. You don't want to." I'm like, no, it's the opposite. It's actually I love Pokemon, and I think it's a fascinating concept. If it was on any engine other than Tekken, then I would be interested. Except
That's
that
actually an interesting point.
Tekken is a great
Just
fighting
weird.
game. I think it's excellent, very deep, but I've never loved it the way I've loved some other
We should get another
franchises.
Pokemon Stadium.
Oh my
was a-
god,
that
yes,
was a
please,
weird game.
please. I loved Pokemon Stadium.
Why didn't we get a Pokemon Snap on Wii U?
Right?
It's
Yeah.
the one thing that
I know.
console would be perfect.
My most played Pokemon game.
That's true. Sam Ricor from the people that brought you Metroid Prime.
Armature
and Mega Man.
And Inafune. Yeah,
Yep.
that's an amazing thing that's happening.
Yep.
But that got delayed.
That, well,
Right,
until
still
later this year.
2016, yeah.
But it would have been really strange if it would have already come out because it looks like a big 3D.
Recore is a strong
Yeah.
candidate to not actually make it out this year.
Yeah,
That's also
I'm
true.
scared for it.
That's also true.
Yep.
It's got a robot dog.
Yep, Rubber Dog.
And then
No dog.
what about Sea of Thieves? Remember that one from the Microsoft conference?
Yeah.
Rare
Yeah.
game. A rare pirate game.
Right. The problem with that is that it's got pirates, so
What the hell?
Is that what?
I was talking to Ryan McCaffrey, our executive previews editor, the other day. We were having dinner, and I said to him, "I'm gonna confess something to you, Ryan, and I'm gonna confess it to the internet. Pirates are an instant turnoff for me. If there's a game,
Ryan chokes on his steak.
like the game can have the most amazing systems, mechanics, artwork, whatever. It could be an amazing game, but like you sell me on the game, you tell me about it, and then you tell me, oh, and it's pirate themed. I'm like, oh.
So you didn't like Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Nope.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, your gameplay systems may be so-so and underbaked, and you might not be very pretty, but you let me like hit up the open seas and sing some sea shanties and upgrade my ship, and I'm like,
You're
all
okay.
right, all right.
Super Hot.
Oh yeah.
Super
hot.
Super hot.
Banner Saga 2. Supposed to be out this year. The Last Guardian.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll finally be out this year.
I was thinking about.
I'll play that game.
I
play
was
that game.
I was a little so-so on
My bad.
Shadow of the Colossus, but like Eco to me is one of the greatest video games ever
Oh,
made.
yeah.
And so
What a weird. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you mix them up? Because Shadow of the Colossus is like one of the coolest,
Shadow's
most
the one.
neat games
You were
ever.
thinking
And
of Shadow of the
Eco is like an
Colossus.
okay game.
No, Eco is so good.
I think they're both exceptional. But,
Zelda Wii U, although some of us feel like maybe it won't be out this year.
yeah.
I think it'll be, and even if it does come out, I hope it's not disappointing because The Witcher was an amazing Zelda game.
Finally, yeah, that's true. Finally, Hot Shots Golf.
There's no dungeons
I'm
in
so
Witcher.
stoked for Hot Shots
Dude,
Golf.
I totally
to come
forgot
back.
it was coming, and then when I was at PSX and I saw it, I was like, oh my god, there's a new Hot Shots, and I ran up to it and I played it for like an
Vita
hour.
or-
on PS4.
On PS4?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and you can, and like between the holes, you actually can like get into a golf cart and drive or walk
Oh
to the
my
next
God.
hole, and like other players can be.
How
on
have
the
I never
course
heard of
at the
this?
same time.
Is there like gameplay footage
I
and
hadn't
stuff?
heard it either, and then I played it at PSX, and I was like, oh my god, put it in there.
Dude, Hot Shots Golf, I probably played 50 hours
Yeah,
of
me
the
too.
PSP
Me too.
game.
Yeah.
Their original.
I didn't know
the
I had like
original
fellow
PSP
Hot
game.
Shots golf fanatics here
Oh, yeah.
along with
I
me.
love Hot Shots Golf.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm actually realizing what I left off this list is Scalebound.
Which is 2017 now.
Oh, that's just
yeah,
already
it got
yeah,
pushed to
just got
2017.
That must be why.
Yep.
All right, there you have it. I think it's going to be a good year for video games. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally come for the Dami Awards. These sealed envelopes were delivered to me by PricewaterhouseCoopers
sure.
earlier today.
Independent audit.
Yep.
confirmed
Hopefully,
These cats have little wings.
the Dami Awards. This is the second annual Dami Awards, of course. It's a very prestigious award ceremony. It awards the best entertainment content I consumed in a year. We should definitely point out this is not IGN's Best of Awards. This is not even really the Best Video Game of the Year award. It's just the best video game that I played.
IGN's Best of Awards will be up in line by the time.
By the time
this
this
watch
episode
this, though.
is up.
That's right.
So
What's
good luck.
written on that envelope there?
Well, apparently someone at PricewaterhouseCoopers made a mistake on the envelope and had to cross out movie and game.
Because he couldn't possibly have gotten another
Are
envelope.
we supposed to guess each one?
No, you don't guess. I'm going to read out the nominees, and then we'll open the envelopes and find out who won.
Do we each get to like announce a winner?
Nope.
No.
Or is it all you?
It's all
You
me.
do it? Okay. It's all about you.
Yeah, this is my show. Now, I'm going to read out the nominees. Good luck to everybody. Studies have found that a game
Studies?
or a movie that wins a Dami, their sales increase 1,000,000%.
Yep.
Wow.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, so.
Not even 100.
Okay, the nominees are for the best video game that I played in the year 2015 are Metal Gear Solid 5,
Yeah.
Rise of the Tomb Raider,
Okay.
Fallout 4, Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition, and Batman Arkham Knight.
Great games.
That's not a bad game on that list. What's that?
I'm gonna bet on Metal Gear. The pools are.
You
And
say Metal Gear?
the winner is
I'm going to bet on Tomb Raider.
I'm gonna.
It's not super. He didn't even finish it. I had to beat a late game puzzle yesterday in the Let's Play with him.
the winner is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
What a great game.
The best game
What a
I
spectacular
played
game.
in 2015.
What a spectacular
all of
game.
these are really great games, but nothing captivated me quite
Do you
like.
also accept the award?
No, I'm accepting
I'd
on
like to
behalf.
thank my mom.
I'm accepting on behalf of Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
and-
who has not been legally barred
Yeah.
from,
No, he
from this
he
room.
was totally he was totally able to come today.
no
I don't know why
invitation.
he didn't.
His invitation certainly must have got lost in the mail because otherwise.
Don't know
would
why
totally
We only had
here.
4 envelopes.
he chose not to join us today.
Oh wait, is that Mr. Kojima? No, it's not.
No,
him.
it wasn't.
That was Sean.
Yeah, sorry. The next category is for the best movie that I saw in the year 2015. The nominees are The Martian, starring Matt Damon, directed by Ridley Scott, You were mad on that game? On that movie?
Such a jerk.
Mad Max Fury Road. Star Wars The Force Awakens. The Hateful Eight, which I finally
seen it
saw last night.
Oh, cool.
Inside Out from Pixar.
Liked it.
And Ex Machina.
Ooh. That was this year?
Yeah,
Xbox One was
earlier this year.
Yep.
Are there ever ties?
Not so far. There's not been a tie.
That'd be really
This is
cool.
only the second annual.
I'm going with Ex Machina or
too.
Force Awakens.
Mad
I'm going with
Max.
Ex Machina. I'm gonna
You
go
say
with- I think
Ex
he's
Machina,
Ex
Force
Machina.
Awakens. You say Mad Max. The winner is Mad Max.
Ooh, nailed
Fury
it.
Road.
You like
Lots
the
of-
guitar, guys? Just that much, huh?
Yeah, lots of
that's-
great movies this year. I love Star Wars. I'm always going to go with a hard R, ultra-violent movie though.
Okay.
That's just where my heart is.
The Raid?
I'll remember for next year.
Raid.
That Hateful Eight had some violence
The
in
Raid
it.
2.
Hoo-wee.
Yeah, I'm still.
The Hateful Eight is also 8 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought. I'm still processing The Hateful Eight. I love Tarantino. It's obviously like his worst movie is still better than most
Sure.
anyone else's
Yeah.
movie, but I don't think it's one of my favorite Tarantino films. But
It
I'm
was
still
so fun to
excited.
watch, but yeah, I want to revisit it.
So you
was
don't want
gross.
to? It was very gross. It's real gross. Finally, the biggest category is the best TV show
Sure.
that I watched in 2015. The nominees are Game of Thrones, Fargo, Better Call Saul, big Breaking Bad fan, Moonbeam City. You guys even heard of this one?
What is that?
It's an animated show, and it has the art style of the old Duran Duran 80s covers.
Oh.
Like that's the art style of the show.
Okay.
It's really, really good. Veep, Silicon Valley, The Nick, and The Affair.
You watched a lot of TV this year.
Well, we watched
Damn,
a lot of
dude.
TV.
I'm going to say Damon.
Jessica Jones didn't make your nominees.
I liked Jessica Jones. I don't think it's on par with these.
I'm
other
with,
series.
and I'm with you. I'm
It's
one
not
of
a-
the
it's
people.
I feel the same way
I
about
think it's-
Daredevil. I
It's
liked
not a
that
Damien
show.
nominee.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you picked Fargo.
Oh yeah, I think it's Fargo's a very
Fargo's
safe,
a lot of
a very
fun.
safe bet.
Let's find out who the winner is.
Did you watch Master of None?
I did watch Master
like
of None.
that.
Also,
I
liked
like
it.
Master of None.
Liked
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Not on my
like it.
top list. The winner is Fargo.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
year. I
great.
I love Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is consistently amazing, but Fargo really impressed me. First of all, when I heard they were making a TV show based on the film Fargo, I was like, that's
Yeah.
a really dumb idea.
It's a terrible.
But then they totally made it work. They blew up the show,
Yeah.
and so you got to explore all these other different threads.
Yeah.
It was super fascinating. And then with the second season, it was they didn't even have a blueprint to follow. They had to come up with their own original story that was still as good, and I think it was even better than the first season. It was, I can't even believe that they pulled that off. It was amazing.
I wish we could talk about it more, but I feel like anything I'm going to say is kind of spoilery.
That's true, and have you even watched?
But there was
I've only seen the first
I will
couple
say there was an
episodes.
unexpected element in it that I just thought was
Yep,
great and,
it's
and
awesome.
crazy and cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what you mean.
I had that spoiled for me.
Oh no!
Aw,
I didn't.
too bad.
I hope I don't.
Well, it's in the first episode
that's the.
and in other episodes. But mainly
Okay.
in the first episode.
Okay.
Congratulations to all the winners of the second annual Dami Awards.
A winner is you, Damon.
A winner.
A winner is you.
Real quick, before we leave the first Game Scoop of the year, we have to play video game 20
Oh
questions.
no.
Speed round.
Everyone knows how this works. You have 20 yes or no questions to guess this mystery game, which comes from our viewer/listener, Aaron.
Don't screw us,
Thanks,
Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron
Do it.
suggested this week's game. You may begin.
Did this game come out before January 1st, 2000?
No.
It's so much harder.
For Sam.
Did this game come out before January 1st, 1980?
Hold on. He said no. It
just
came out. That's not a real question. No. He said it came out after 2000.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad. All right. So was this on a? Did this debut and was this exclusive to a Microsoft console?
Those are a couple questions.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so it was not exclusive to a Microsoft console.
Okay.
Did this come out after
Sure.
2010?
Yes.
Ooh, that's good.
In 2010?
After.
Oh, after
2010.
2010. I was like, that's a very
Okay.
specific year.
Okay.
Hey, that includes 2010.
That's pretty modern. Is this game primarily associated with PC?
No.
Is this game in any way, shape, or form a shooter?
You mean, are you asking?
Third or first? Is it a
Do you shoot things?
You said in any way, shape, or form. Are you asking if there is shooting in the game?
I guess I'm asking.
Or are you asking
If you
me
gave this game a genre, would it have the word
it's-
shooter in it?
Yes. Is the
game
genre a shooter?
Is not categorized as a shooter.
Okay.
No.
Son of a bitch.
Do you play as a human?
Yes.
Finally! It's been so long. So you're a human that probably uses a gun sometimes, maybe.
God damn it! I'm so thrown off by it being out in the last 10 years.
10 years, the last 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years, 5 years,
years,
6 years. You play as a human. It's not a shooter. But do you, okay,
I think we need to narrow
Ask
down
if
the
it
platform
won a
little
Game
bit
of the
more.
Year award.
yeah, I want to narrow down platform a little bit more. Is it in the PS4, Xbox One generation?
No.
So late 360, PS3 game.
Right.
But it could be on PC.
Could be, but after 2010, it's like a Mass Effect.
But Bioshock is kind of a shooter, though.
Oh, that's a total shooter.
You're a human.
Is it? I'm gonna ask another one. Is it a sci-fi future theme to the game?
It's tricky. That's a little tricky. Kinda.
Sounds like an Assassin's Creed to me.
Man, it's not really sci-fi,
Okay, I mean that's.
but it's also not based in our reality.
So it could be like Far Cry or
Star
Assassin's
Wars.
Creed. Well,
it's a free.
Okay,
I
so
think
that's
he would call that
this.
sci-fi.
This. Okay, Vince, you ask.
Okay. Is the
or Dishonored.
does the action take place somewhere on Earth, on our Earth?
I'm not super well versed in the lore of this game, but I don't think so. I don't think it's supposed to be Earth.
I was just trying to see if it was an Assassin's Creed. So I thought
Is
that
it some
sounded
kind of
like,
Planet of the Apes situation where you only find out it's Earth at the end?
Was it Earth all along? Is that what your
Spoilers, by the way. Sorry.
I want to narrow down the genre a little bit.
I know,
Yeah,
me too.
yeah, me too.
I guess. Is this an RPG?
No.
Okay.
Is this game 3D?
Yes.
I was gonna ask that. That's good.
That's 10.
That's good. Yeah.
It is 3D.
I should make note of all the questions you've asked so we can recap at 10.
We're in
You
trouble.
know, it's a 3D game.
It's a 3D game, but it's not an
It's not a
RPG
shooter.
or a shooter.
Came out in the late PS3 360
It's not an
lifespan.
Xbox
It's not an Xbox exclusive.
exclusive.
So yeah, so a multi-platform game on PS3 360 generation.
We're not
3D.
sure if it's Earth.
Yeah. Well, no, I said it's not.
Well, I mean, there's
It's not Earth.
something.
Oh, it says it's not
going
Earth.
on.
Could be
there.
any superhero game. Crackdown.
I mean, that's on Earth.
Should we ask about
No,
sequels?
it
We didn't
says
ask
that
that yet.
Metro. Isn't that? Is it, what do they have a name for the
Can we ask
city?
about sequels?
Yeah.
Let's just do that. Does it have any sequels out?
A sequel is forthcoming.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's Crackdown.
Oh snap. Yeah, it could
That
be.
wasn't before. That was before 2000.
Crackdown 2, maybe.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Is it a platformer?
No.
Kind of running out of genres.
Yeah, I don't want to
Well,
get too.
open world.
The genre,
it's an action.
the
it sounds
genre's
like
a trap.
action-y.
Is it an open world game?
No. Well, no.
Damn it,
No.
I feel like you're hosing us on this one a little bit.
It's not. I'm not hosing you. I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
I don't think. Certainly, you wouldn't say if you were like saying name some open world games. It wouldn't be like GTA 5, Assassin's Creed.
I
and this
understand.
game.
So maybe if someone were to technically think about can you go up, right, left, or down, then yes, maybe you can, but it's still not thought about in the way you think about open world games.
Yes.
So it's not an RPG or a platformer, but there's some shooting and it sounds like maybe, but it's not a shooter either.
Right, and you play as a human.
You play as a human, but you're not.
And it's not
on Earth.
sci-fi, but that tripped up Damon.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's sort of sci-fi.
Is
You should ask if it's a female human.
I was actually just gonna say, like, do you think it could possibly be a Metroid? But what's that?
Those are sci-fi games in the future and they're shooters.
Yeah. Well, no. Some people don't call.
They're,
Damon hesitated
But
over
he
PC when we asked
hesitated
about
on
PC.
shooter.
you can
He
just ask if it's
hesitated
on-
over PC is what he hesitated over.
Oh, he did. Yes.
What was the PC question?
Was it on? Is it primarily associated with PC?
Not.
We didn't
it's not
ask that.
primarily associated with PC.
Did we ask that?
Yeah, I asked if it's primarily associated with PC, and he thought about it and said no. So I don't think
Yeah.
it'd be Metroid.
It's probably on PS3, Xbox, Xbox 360, and PC.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't even know if we ask if the God Mike asked if it stars a woman, but I don't even know what it would be. Tomb Raider,
Yeah, I'm not sure. What
but that's on Earth,
I'm not sure what we would
and that's
be.
not sci-fi.
Right. So we wouldn't be ruling anything out with that, really.
It doesn't help
Pretty
me.
good. I don't mind. I don't mind it. Is there a female protagonist you play as?
No.
what if we narrow down like how the game plays a little bit more, like not genre, but like what you do. Like,
let me ask you this: when you going back to your question, is if it's sci-fi, do you consider steampunk sci-fi?
No.
Okay.
I feel like
I mean, I don't.
I feel like it's a subgenre of sci-fi, but
This is why I have difficulty answering.
Are there stealth elements in this game?
Yes.
Yeah, is it Dishonored?
Yes.
It's like the first game I asked.
No, you didn't ask. You mentioned it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to make it back.
Yeah,
around
yeah.
to that.
No, I kept on being there.
So is it sci-fi?
That's a really tough question to
that's-
answer.
So I'm not hosing you. I was trying.
You know what's crazy?
I understand.
though,
I'm not
is that it would be
blaming you. I'm
fantasy.
just saying it's hard to not get it. It's
Like
hard
if
to
we
get
had
a
asked
vague
if it's a
answer right.
fantasy game, you probably would have instinctively said no. But I think that's a fantasy.
See, I would have said yes. I would have said yes. It's
fantasy game
yeah.
because there's like mystical elements to it.
There's
I don't know.
magic in it.
Yeah,
There's
there's
just
magic
straight
and
up
everything
magic.
runs on
But I don't think
oil
about
and-
that when I think about it. I do think about the more steampunk.
And also, I do think about so it's like here, like sci-fi becomes code for stuff set in the future, but it doesn't need to.
it doesn't need to be
right?
that. Exactly. That's what.
Yeah.
But that's and in the same way, fantasy becomes code for something set in some other world, but that doesn't need to be either.
Or something with dragons
Yeah.
and magic.
That was a good one.
Or like, yeah, it's medieval times, but there's magic in it. It's like fantasy, even though it doesn't need to be that.
You must have been nervous because we brought up Dishonored several times on this.
I know. I was like, oh, it's going to be fresh in their minds, maybe.
Yeah, it was great.
And then you
It
actually
totally
said
was.
it before you guessed it.
Totally
and
was.
Hell, we're off to a good start. 1 for 1.
1 for 1 in 2016.
Let's keep the streak going.
Yeah, keep the streak going. All right, that's all the scoops we have for you this week. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Sam. Remember, you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com. My name is Damon. This is IGN Gamescoop, and we're out.